Hello everyone. In previous lecture we have started with color image processing techniques, and we have categorized color image processing into two categories. One is pseudo color image processing and the second one was full color image processing. So in previous lecture we discussed pseudo color processing, and the next kind of the image processing technique that we will discuss today is full color image processing. And as we have said that unlike in case of pseudo color techniques, in case of full color image processing we will consider the actual colors present in the colored image, which can be specified in different color models. Now we have two categories of color image processing. One is per color plane processing or per color component processing. So in this category we process each color component of the color image, and then all the processed components are combined together to obtain the colored processed image. So if we talk about RGB image, we have three color components: red, green and blue. We will process these three components separately, and once processing has been done we will combine all these three components together. The other type of processing is by using the concept of vectors, where each color is considered as a vector. So if it is the color specified in RGB space, then it is the vector drawn to the point which specifies the color from the origin of the RGB color space. So if we are going for an RGB color space, the point XY will have three color components: red, green and blue. So every color is represented by vector of all color components. Now we have two type of color processing techniques. The first kind of processing that we will consider is color transformation. Now you may recall from our discussion with the grayscale images, where we have defined a number of transformations for enhancement purpose, and there we have defined the transformation as, say, S is equals to some transformation function T of R, where R is an intensity value at location F at location XY in the input image fxy, and S is the transformed intensity value in the corresponding location of the processed image, which we call as gxy. Now we can extend the same idea in the color processing techniques. In case of grayscale image, we had only one component. In case of color images, we have more than one component here. Here we can define the transformation as Si equals to some transformation function Ti of R1, R2 up to Rn. Here I is equals to 1, 2 up to n. So here Si is the color component in the processed image gxy, and Ri is the color component in the input image fxy, and here n is the number of components in this color specification. So if I talk about RGB or HSI image, n is equals to 3 because we have 3 component in each of these cases. Ti is actually a set of transformations or color mapping functions that operate on Ri to produce Si. So in this example, this is the full color CMYK image of a simple scene. This second row shows the 4 components of CMYK, that is cyan, magenta, yellow and black. All these components are normalized to the range between 0 to 1. Now we see that strawberries are composed of large amount of magenta and yellow because the image corresponding to these 2 components are the brightest. Black is usually sparingly present here in the coffee and shadows within the bowls of strawberry. The third row shows the equivalent RGB images obtained from the CMYK image. Here we see that strawberry has large amount of red and very little green and blue. The last row shows the HSI components, and as expected, the intensity component is the grayscale representation of this color image. The saturation is also as expected. The strawberries are relatively pure in color. There is less amount of white light in this. As a result, they show highest saturation values in the image. Finally, we can see some difficulty in interpreting the image of the hue component image. The problem is that first there is discontinuity in the HSI model where 0 degree and 360 degree meet. And second, hue is undefined for saturation of 0, that is white, black and pure grays. The discontinuity of the model is most apparent around the strawberries, which are depicted in gray level values near both black and white. So the result is an unexpected mixture of highly contrasting gray levels to represent a single color red. Now the first application of this color transformation that we will use is intensity modification. Now as we can represent a color in different color models, so theoretically it is possible that every kind of color processing can be done in any of the color spaces or color models. Also, it may be possible that some processing is more convenient in some color spaces, but it is less convenient in some other color spaces. However, in such cases, we have to consider the cost of converting the colors from one color model to another color model. Say, for example, in this particular case, suppose we wish to modify the intensity of full color image by a constant K, which is in the range 0 to 1. In the HSI color space, we need to modify only the intensity component image. So S3 is equals to KR3, and we let S1 equals to R1 and S2 equals to R2. In terms of our earlier discussion, please note that we are using two different transformation functions. T1 and T2 are identity transformation in these particular cases, and T3 is a constant transformation in this case. In RGB color space, we need to modify all three components by the same constant transformation. The CMYK space requires a similar set of linear transformation given by Si is equals to KRI plus 1 minus K. And here for CMY we have three color components. So I is equals to 1, 2 or 3. Now this figure shows the result of applying the transformation to the full color images. In RGB we have the same transformation which is applied to all three color components, red, green and blue. So this is, we have single transformation function. In case of CMY also we have the single transformation function. Here in HSI we are modifying only the I component, and we have same transformations for hue and saturation. So there is some error. It should be linearity is for hue and saturation component. So it should be H and S. We are not changing the saturation and hue part, but we are modifying only the I part. So this is I. So here we have two type of transformation functions. So if I compare the operations that we have to do in RGB color plane, the operation in HSI space and the operation in CMY space, we will find that operation in HSI space is the minimum of these three color spaces, because here only the intensity value is to be scaled. This one. Hue and saturation value remains unchanged. In RGB and CMY we have to scale all three different components or three different planes. However, as we have said that though the operation or the transformation takes minimum time in HSI space, but we have to consider what is the complexity of converting RGB to HSI or CMY or CMYK to HSI. So the next application of this full color image processing that we will consider is the color complements. Now to define this color complement, let us first look at a color circle. So in this particular color circle, if I take the color at a point on the circle, the color which is located at the diagonal opposite direction in the circle is the complement of the other color. So as shown in this figure, that here if I took, suppose here it is not visible, so suppose here I take a color on this color circle. Now its complement will be given by the color on this side. And similarly the reverse. The color on this side has a complement on the color, complement color on the other side. So this simply says that the hues which are directly opposite to one another are complements of each other. Now when we have talked about the gray scale image processing, we have also talked about negative operation. This color complement is analogous to that gray level negative operation. So the same operation that we have used in case of grayscale image to obtain its negative, if we apply the same transformation to all the R, G and B planes of a color image represented in RGB space, then what we get is the color complement of the color image. So in case of grayscale we had a simple transformation, but in case of color image I have to apply the same transformation on all the color planes. That is, I have to get its SI equals to T of Ri, which is equals to L minus 1 minus Ri. And this Ri is for all values of I, that is 1, 2 and 3. So by applying this transformation function on this colored image, I get image like this. So this is the complement of image, and we can also say that this is same as the photographic negative of a color image. Now so far whatever color image processing techniques which we have discussed are equivalent to point processing techniques that we have discussed in connection with our grayscale images, because we are applying transformation function on each and every pixel. So this is equivalent to point processing technique. Now in grayscale images we have also discussed another kind of processing technique, that is the neighborhood processing technique. Now similar neighborhood processing technique can also be applied in case of color images, where for processing an image it is not only the color of a particular pixel or color at a particular intensity location that we will consider, but we will also consider the color at the neighboring pixel locations. And we will talk about two such processing operations. The first one is image smoothing operation, and the second one is sharpening. So for this smoothing, what we have is that in a smooth image the color component C bar xy will be given by 1 over k summation of Cxy, where this Cxy is actually a vector having 3 components in the RGB space. This will be red, green and blue components, and this averaging has to be done for all locations which are in the neighborhood of point xy. So here I can simply do this operation in a plane wise manner, where we can write that C bar xy is nothing but 1 over k into summation Rxy for all xy within the neighborhood of Sxy. The similar thing I will do for green and blue. And the average of all three vectors give us what we call the smooth image. So consider the RGB color image here, and here are its three component images, and these three are the component images of the HSI images. Now we have smoothed each component of the image of RGB image independently using a 5x5 averaging mask or kernel. So once we have applied smoothing operation on each of these component images separately, we will combine all these three images to form a smooth full color RGB image. Now that this image is here, so this is the result of image smoothing on RGB image. Note that this image appears as we would expect from performing a spatial smoothing. Some edges has become blurred. Now, earlier we mentioned an important advantage of HSI color model, that it decouples intensity and color information. Now this makes it suitable for many grayscale processing techniques, and we suggested that it might be more efficient to smooth only the intensity component of the HSI representation of an image. Now to illustrate the merits or the consequences of this approach, we have smooth only the intensity component, and then we have converted, suppose we had this RGB image, we have first converted the RGB image into HSI image, apply smoothing only on the I component, and then we have converted the HSI image into RGB image for the display. So this is the image we have obtained. Now note that it looks similar to RGB smoothed image, but as you can see from the difference image, the two smooth image are not exactly identical. If you find, we have some differences here. So why these two images are not identical? Because in this RGB smooth image, each pixel is the average of the color of the pixels in the neighborhood, whereas in this particular case, by smoothing only the intensity component, the hue and saturation of each pixel was not affected, and therefore pixel colors did not change when I performed image smoothing in HSI image. So that's why we have not obtained the identical images, though they look very similar. Now as we have done the smoothing operation, in the same manner we can also go for the sharpening operation. And we have discussed in connection with our grayscale images that an image can be sharpened by using the second order derivative like Laplacian operator. So here again, if I apply Laplacian operator on all three planes, the R, G and B planes separately, and then combine those results, what I will get is sharpened image. Now if I do the same operation in HSI color plane, where we can modify only the intensity component, keeping the HSI component unchanged, in such cases the results that we obtain is different from the results obtained by applying sharpening operation on all three R, G and B components separately. So with this we finish our discussion on color image processing.